Welcome to the Digital Glue Podcast. These digital untangling episodes are brought to you by Crystal Kordalchuk, CEO and founder of Virtually Untangled. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who need untangling from the day-to-day tasks in their business. These virtual world untanglers never underestimate the power of a good idea. And if that sounds like a lofty goal, well, it is. A decade ago, Virtually Untangled was founded with the goal of creating meaningful digital experiences that connect with people. Crystal and her team of honorary untanglers are now providing business owners just like you the opportunity to own your story and share it with the world. So, every Tuesday morning, she'll be dropping a new episode that will help you think big and dream even bigger. Let's dive into today's episode.
Welcome, business owners. I'm assuming if you're listening to today's Untangling podcast episode, it's because your branding is looking ready for the runway. Your voice is utter perfection, and you're feeling like an entrepreneur superstar who is ready to take your next steps into the marketing land with social media. Quite honestly, I've been hitting the pavement hard for many years, finding all the right strategies and using my brand as the tried, tested, and truth to all things marketing. I've been working hard at figuring out the tools and strategies that help businesses of all shapes and sizes succeed with their brand, and am here today to share all that glorious hard-earned information with you. So even if you've already hit launch and already took many careful steps into the land of social, don't worry, nothing is permanent. That's the great thing about technology nowadays. Whether you're new to social or a social veteran, you'll find everything you need to know about getting your business's social media ready right here. For starters, here's some questions to ask yourself about the lay of the land, your brand, before taking off that launch pad. Let's start with the basics. Does your brand have a story? A voice? Do you have branded graphics that flow nicely? Is your brand solid and comes with a memorable handle? What is your end game? What are your social goals? Have you created a social launch schedule? A going forward social media schedule? Do these social strategies own in on your target audience? To bundle up those 8 mini thoughts into one main idea, you want to begin with your basic goals in mind and keep them in the forefront as you create a larger strategy, audience, and identity while you build out your social presence. But also, don't be afraid to reach beyond the horizons. Explore different avenues, change your strategy if it's not hitting home, and interact with your audience and as your brand. Doing these things will help your business thrive and grow beyond your wildest dreams, if you're dreaming of business, that is. Also try to remember that patience is a virtue. Things take time and doesn't happen overnight, no matter what guru tells you it will. Now that you know all the steps, you need to double check or perhaps double back on the next step, which would be to figure out which social media platforms are best suited for your business. Don't spread yourself thin trying to make an appearance on all the social networks at your fingertips. Find your audience, match your brand, and pick the best fits. You can always grow on others later on. As Gary Vaynerchuk ever so smartly states, social media requires that business leaders start thinking like small-town shop owners. This means taking the long view and avoiding short-term benchmarks to gauge progress. It means allowing the personality, heart and soul of the people who run all levels of business to show. Next up, let's talk content calendars. We are all living in the land of social with our businesses, especially these days. So having a content calendar is a key element to being organized and prepared for getting our brand out there consistently. It is also key for infusing our business with a personality and to show we're not doing the same old boring things that business B is doing, thus creating more engagement. But as a business owner, there is nothing worse than struggling with creative block when it comes to creating social-worthy content. You're feeling the pressure with all your client deadlines, your own deadlines, you're wearing too many hats, and you're in a slump as you just can't think of any original ideas to post or even some eye-catching concepts for your next campaign. your head hurts. That's probably what brought you here today. It's okay. It's easy to fall into despair. We all need a lift of inspiration now and again because you want the individuals who follow your social feeds to feel emotion regarding what content you're posting, and in such a way that they will respond, comment, like, share, etc., because your post spoke to them. It gets them. However, preparing weeks upon weeks of content doesn't always come easy and takes a lot of thought, time, and preparation to make them get you. It's not just researching relevant holidays or theme days or uploading quirky quotes from the rich and famous. It's a bit more complicated than that. So no need to go hide under your desk rocking back and forth. I have some great tips, helpful ideas that will get you and keep you well on your way to content marketing success. A good, solid strategy requires a leader who is willing and able to say no to a wide variety of actions and interests. Strategy is at the least as much about what a business does not do as it is about what it does. That being said, let's get started. Here are a few simple tips and steps to help with creating and filling up your social media content calendar. Number 1, set social media content goals. Here's where your plan comes into play. The best way to keep your social content organized is on a calendar. It will give you and your team full visibility into your social schedule and makes it way easier to plan in advance when time allows for it. But before you start filling in the blanks with your content, you must first define some goals for your brand. You must have some sort of strategy in place which will help you stay on point so that every post, tweet, and pin has a purpose and works towards your end goal. Having these goals set in place will also help you measure your audience impact and overall success. It will also help you maximize your time to the ultimate power. If you think about it, doing business with marketing is like winking at the soulmate of your dreams in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does. Number 2, decide on your content mixture. When it comes to content, one thing business owners usually forget is that just because it's your feed doesn't mean the content you post should only be yours. Your content should also be relevant to shares of other really great content that has already been produced. For example, a combination of event promotions, industry news, tips and tricks, new programs, platforms, and helpful resources. Now, you should, of course, sprinkle your own content on your social feeds as well. That's top priority. But adding in some curated content is a great way to bring some extra well-deserved attention to both parties, yourself and the content curator of what you're sharing. You should work to tie all things created by you for your business as well. Then the curated content, which will create some amazing results when it comes to the audience engagement. Number 3, create a social media content calendar. This is one of the easiest tips of the bunch. I know it can sometimes be a hassle to remember what content you shared when and on what platforms, especially when all platforms have different character counts and no option to pre-schedule. So having a social media content calendar will provide you with a great organizational advantage as you will be able to sort, organize, and plan for days, weeks, and months ahead. And it doesn't require a crap ton of effort to get one set up. I prefer to use an Excel spreadsheet. However, some of my clients prefer Google Docs. That way, all members on the team can see what's happening in live mode, and there is no crossover of files being overwritten. But if you're looking for something a little bit more in-depth, there are all sorts of platforms and free templates online. Then from there, we use this spreadsheet as a guide of our strategy and create our hearts out. Once all the graphics and copy are ready and well-proofed, we then hop into our trusty pre-schedule platform, Promo Republic, and schedule away for weeks, sometimes even months at a time in advance. This way, we're not feeling stuck and on a tight schedule, creating content on the fly for the day of or the following week. P.S. If you're looking for some assistance in this area, drop me a line, as my team and I would be more than happy to offer some insight or create one for you or shoot you some resources. Number 4, find and fill in some key dates. Okay, here's where the fun begins, putting holidays and event dates into play. And let's get real, no matter where you live on this glorious rock we call home, holidays are a big deal. So why not show some holiday spirit by creating some holiday-related posts for your business social feeds? It could be as simple as a relatable image or video, or maybe even an article from your blog or podcast, or even some curated holiday content from a reliable source. Now, holiday posts aren't the only beneficial way to bring up engagement. Think events too. For example, tomorrow is May the 4th, which we all know as May the 4th Be With You Day. So why not do a special fun post or special campaign with a sweet discounted deal that's themed around the day for all the special entrepreneurs out there using their superpowers through all the blood, sweat, and tears, the late nights, early mornings, endless cups of caffeine, running from here to there, mastering every piece of tech we can get our hands on, the endless meetings, long to-do lists, you get the idea. Or how about some of these other special dates? World Password Day, which is the first Thursday of every May. World Hunger Day, May 28th. World Humanitarian Day, August 19th. Mental Awareness Week, October 1st to 7th. World Mental Health Day, October 10th. Giving Tuesday, which is the first Tuesday of every December. Or International Human Rights Day, which is December 10th. That's just a short list of examples of some of our faves, near and dear to our hearts. Looking for more dates to take advantage of? Check out HubSpot. They have a really great free calendar template with all those special dates on it and more. Or check out this link right from the source, National Calendar Day. Both clickable links are within the transcript of today's episode for you. If you're going to succeed in the land of social, you need all the right tools right at your fingertips. And I'm in hopes that thus far you're feeling pretty good about things. That being said, we want to do a mini deep dive into 2 more sections to help with your content. So got a quick minute to talk about content? There is a lot to be gained by joining forces with others to tell your brand story. The more you collaborate, the more your message will get delivered onto more platforms, more social and media outlets, and to a larger audience. Collaboration is a truly beautiful thing and every marketer's dream. It unifies teams while striving for omnichannel marketing mastery, as long as there are no communication breakdowns. So it's time to hunker down and figure out some ways to keep your content fresh. Here are a few ways to get the most out of your content collaborations. Blogs. If anything, this is a no-brainer on the list. And easy and fun way to become a thought leader by seeking opportunities to invite guests to contribute. Podcasts and videos. Podcasts and videos are natural for collaboration. Plus, video search is the new evolution of SEO. Making podcasts and videos is the new frontier in the business world. Either could include industry influencers, vendor partners, customers, or even just yourself, like I do, to discuss viable content pertaining to your evolutional series. Expert interviews. Have a roster of experts you'd like to round up? You can use this as a true formula for blogging, podcasts, video interviews, ebooks, and so much more. This team of experts can also help you share and promote the content across a myriad of networks and platforms. Easy peasy marketing. Webinars. This is a classic example of collaborative content, as you can take this opportunity to build out a press center with archives of topics and resources you cherish the most. This can also be done as a separate page on your website or any landing page, which can showcase said content as a standalone archive of text or as a fun graphically scrolling slider. Workshops and courses. Are you ready to put your expertise and others out into the world? By gathering your know-how and the know-how of others, you can create a training type of symposium, lunch and learn, or a full-blown out course, which is a truly great way to tell your brand story. A simple collaborative offering to help other entrepreneurs across the globe. If you use even just a couple of the fundamentals I just shared with you, it will help you strengthen that creative muscle and make your brand story stand out from the crowd. But remember, tell your brand's real story, not its highlight reel. You want people to relate and be inspired. It's the rocky journey of pursuing a goal, getting knocked down, finding a new path to success, and sharing it with the world. Give them the feels. Branding demands commitment. Commitment to continual reinvention, striking chords with people to stir their emotions, and commitment to imagination. It is easy to be cynical about such things and much harder to be successful. Okie dokies, we're running a little bit long here today, but all this information is so important, I didn't want to leave you empty-handed. So the last untangling tip of the day is plug and play content strategies. Let's start by being honest with ourselves. We all want killer content, but we don't always have the time or the creative juices left at the end of the day to build up the momentum we need on our business strategies, which we've been pretty much talking about throughout this entire episode. And well, it just so happens that's where this last section comes in handy. Let's begin with a step that will assist you long-term, your strategy guide. You can't achieve strategy success unless you fully understand what success means to you and your business. Some of the most common goals used for marketing through plug and play content includes brand awareness, lead generation, audience engagement, audience loyalty, and profitability. In order to figure out which goals you and your business should be prioritizing, or if you're looking to expand your plan, I have found a truly great online resource that includes 23 templates, checklists, and guides to make this process easier. The clickable link is within the transcription of today's episode for you. Once your planning stages are complete, it's time to start thinking about what content you'd like to build with your brand. I know it can be overwhelming because the problem in today's day and age is there is so much information available online, and the online spaces are overly crowded with people's attention spans being shorter and shorter. So I've created a quick list of some of the best plug and play content formats for you. Some good examples of content formats are how-tos, case studies, ebooks, tool reviews, giveaways, infographics, interviews, lists and mind maps, surveys and quizzes, niche resources, motivational quotes, niche-related quotes, pin boards, and company news. And the list goes on. But those are some of the tried and true starters. Then when you are ready to begin using these publishing ideas to put together your social schedule, keep in mind the 80-10-10 rule. And for those of you who may be unfamiliar, here's the scoop. Curation and OCP, other people's content, equals 80%. BTS, behind the scenes marketing messages, equals 10%. Salesy messages and content, example would be your newsletter sign up, equals another 10%. This kind of 80-10-10 content mixture ensures your business is providing quality, helpful, and valuable content more than being salesy. People aren't always cruising through their social profiles to buy, so don't bombard them. We are living in the age of information, yet despite this advantage, we're all still starved for more knowledge. Your audience knows what to do when they see your content, but at the very same time, they don't know what they need to know, all because they're overwhelmed. So give them what they want by focusing on one big idea, because when you do, it won't be the idea they will be attributing their success to, it will be you. Now it's time to share some things with us. Have you developed your foolproof plug-and-play strategy yet? Or are you still fighting FOMO? What social media struggles are you dealing with right now? Do you need help keeping up but not sure where to find it? If you answered yes to that last question, let's chat.
And that's a wrap. Virtually Untangled is a full-service business, which means they've got you covered on design and content right through to digital and organization. You'll form a long-lasting relationship with them, as collaboration is central to everything they do. Now it's time to seize the moment and become inbox friends. It's easy to do. Just hop on over to virtuallyuntangled.com or their Facebook page to opt in and receive instant access to the most inspirational ride of your life. So what are you waiting for? Become inbox friends with VU. Until the next episode, keep untangling.